Hey friend, it is Brandon Gustafson with Assisted Living Investing. Excited to have you here with me on the channel today. We're going to be talking about how to find the right property for an assisted living facility. This is actually something that somebody in the Facebook group, Mariah, I'm hoping I say get Mariah and Maria mixed up sometimes, so I think it's Mariah. She was asking about needing some help from. So I wanted to cover that for you in today's live video. Before we get started, though, I want to remind you to get over to the website. You can get access to the business plan checklist. We're going to be I've got a link here, link down below. We'll have it going on a ticker as well. So go and grab the business plan checklist at assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist, and that will help you get things moving in the right direction for you. So go and grab that free resource. Now let's get into our topic for today, how to find the right property for your assisted living business. Sorry, I'm going to grab this really quick. It's going a little bit slower than normal to get this over to the Facebook group. Almost have the link ready. Anyways, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate two assisted living facilities out of state. So I do this in multiple states. I live in Salt Lake, have one of them in Colorado, one in Idaho. I've been doing this for over 4 years and have been in the healthcare industry for over a decade now. Have secured over $1.5 million in SBA funding, and love kind of coaching people out and helping people out here at Assisted Living Investing, help beginners like you launch their assisted living business. Um, to just kind of help you reach your own goals and help you get started. If you're new here, go ahead and type newbie down below. Would love to see who's here and just kind of help you along. It's always good to see that. Now let's get into the topic for today's video. We're going to be talking first off, like the first thing that you need to do when you're trying to find the right property for assisted living. When you're trying to get started, you're trying to figure things out, you have to build a base. This is what I teach all the people inside of my program. You can go apply for that at alimastermind.com/application if you're interested. But in there, inside the program, we talk about phase one being all about building the base. And in order for you to know what property you want, you need to have this base built. Inside of here, you're going to be building a business plan. You're going to identify what your criteria is. And this could be something like how many beds you want in the home. Do you want to buy an existing facility versus buying a home to convert? Which of those options do you want to do? You want to identify which population you want to serve. Are you doing traditional assisted living? Are you going to be getting into memory care? Do you want to do developmental disabilities? What about mental health? Which of these areas do you want to work with? You're going to identify what that criteria is that you want, so that it's going to help refine and give you a really good spot to jump off of from there. You also want to be doing market research. So if you need some help with any of these things, market research is like diving deep into specific markets and understanding exactly what that's going to, what that entails, where you're going to be, just the population in that area, who you want to be serving, who you want to be working with. All of that is kind of going into the market research phase of this. Now, if you need help building out this foundation, check out the mastermind program, alimastermind.com/application. Go apply for it there. You can also check out the business planning guide, and you can get that at assistedlivinginvesting.net/BPG for business planning guide. So just like take that link down below that's scrolling across and just do BPG. And that will get you there. But inside of that course, we go through how to build a business plan. I give you a template that's going to help you get there. Go through my underwriting calculator in great detail. Has a market research tool. We're actually updating that for the 2024 version now. And so if you bought the business planning guide today, when we refresh that, you will get access to the 2024 version. So that's coming out soon. We're getting pretty close to having that out there. So make sure you go and access that, because all that course is designed to help you build the base for what you want to be doing. So go check that out. But you have to have this base if you want to find the right property. I want to remind you as well, as I'm going through this, we will have time at the end of the call for questions. So go ahead and type them in. Working on a single screen right now, so I can't see the questions as I go through it. So I will get to the questions at the end, but as I'm going through things, go ahead and type in your questions as you have them, so that I can answer them as as you're thinking about it. Now, let's the next thing after you have built that base, the next thing you need to do is identify what type of property you want to be working with. You need to identify if you're going to go with an existing business, or if you want to buy and convert a home. I've talked about this a few times. I have a resource for it. I'm trying to think of what the website is. Hold on, let me see if I can find it for you. So assistedlivinginvesting.net slash oh my gosh, I cannot remember what it's called. But I have a video that I did on this, on helping you decide if it's best for you to go with an existing facility versus buying a home and converting it. This is a very personal decision. You can be successful both ways. The idea with this resource, and if you need help with this, comment down below comparison, and that will trigger me to send you the link for this. That's going to be the best way to do it, rather than me trying to figure out what it is on the fly here. But go ahead and type in comparison down below if you'd like this comparison tool. But really what it does is it helps you identify if you are going to have, if it's more profitable for you to have an existing facility versus having something that you are buying and converting a home. This is one of the key things, in that business foundational piece that I was talking about, that you need to figure out your criteria. Which one are you going to look for? Because that is going to dictate the people that you talk to and the tools that you are using for you to find the right property. I personally have bought existing businesses. Your pathway to profitability it accelerates quite a bit, actually. And you know what? That triggered my mind for what it is. I think it's profit path, profit path. Let's see if that got it. Yep. Okay. So if you want that tool, go the profit path analysis tool. Go to assistedlivinginvesting.net slash profit path, and that will get you access to that free resource. Anyway, but comment down below comparison there. So Jacqueline, I saw your thing. Go and grab that at assistedlivinginvesting.net slash profit path. There you go. So that will get you access to that free tool. I bought existing facilities because the pathway to profitability it accelerates things quite a bit for you, actually. You have the ability to become profitable when you do this. If it was a decently operating facility, you can get to profitability definitely within the first year, if not the first 4 to 6 months. Like it's very possible for you to get there. Now, if you want to buy an existing a home and you are going to then convert that, it doesn't mean that you can't also be successful. It doesn't mean that it won't be profitable or anything like that. It just means you're probably going to have to extend it a little bit. You have to build in the time where you are finding all your staff and finding the residents to come into the home and all of those types of things. And so you want to make sure that you are figuring out which of those two are best for you. Now, buying an existing facility that's up and running is a different funding process, and it might be something that you can't do the SBA for whatever reason, or one of those opportunities that will allow you to fund the acquisition of an existing business. That might be hard for you to do. You need to figure out which of those things are going to be best for you. So that's this is the question. Which of these do you want to go? Now let's talk about this when it comes to the type of home. You figured out, I want to buy an existing facility, or I want to buy a home and I want to convert it. Once you do that, you also need to figure out the type of home, what this home is going to look like for you. You want to be looking at bed and bath count. You could. I have a video on this. Can a 2 or 3 bed care home be profitable? And it can be if you are pretty involved. Go ahead and watch that video. Just search for it on my channel, and you'll find it. So it's possible for you to do that, but more than likely, you are not going to be looking for a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom home when you're doing assisted living. That's not a blanket statement. Just more than likely, you're going to be looking at something like a 5, 8, 10, 12 bedroom home. You're looking for a big home, something that is very large. The home style, you probably want something that is ranch style, that is zero entry. You can see here on this picture, the one there in the middle, that even has a few steps. So when you are looking at this, you have to consider these are residents that may not be able to do stairs at all, and so you need to kind of account for that. That does not mean that you can't do this with stairs. I have one of my facilities is 4 stories tall. It is a requirement for a resident to do stairs to come into our home. It limits us because now we can't have residents come in that that are immobile and can't do stairs, but you can do assisted living in homes with the stairs. You just need to account for that. You got to look at zoning. You need to verify that zoning is going to work for you inside of the area where you're in. If you go and talk to the city planner, who is who you need to talk to about zoning, and you talk to them about assisted living, they may not know what you're talking about. They may think of the big box facility. They may not be thinking of a residential home. So the questions that you need to ask there are much more geared around, can I do a care home here? Or how many unrelated individuals can I have in a home, inside of this, inside of this neighborhood, in this zoned area? And then if the answer comes back, no, you can't do it, and you probe on it a little bit and you figure out, no, we can't, and you have to do rezoning, what does that rezoning process look like? It could be a simple application. It could be going to the city council and putting it out for public comment. Like, it could be very complex, or it could be super simple. It's going to depend, but you have to figure out which type of home. Okay, so a lot of up to this point is just a lot of research, a lot of trying to identify what is going to be the best option for you as you are trying to find the right property for you. Now, if you decide that you want to buy an existing business, there's a few really good resources for you out there. And I have some videos on these on the channel, so go ahead and search for those on YouTube. I don't know if they're going to be on the Facebook group, but if you want information on one of these, go ahead and type in LoopNet, BizBuySell, or Crexi down below, and I will link those videos for you. So if one of those is going to be helpful for you, just go ahead and comment that, and we'll make sure we get you the video link for it. But what you're going to find here is these resources are free. You can set up free accounts. You can go in, filter it down all the way to assisted living on all 3 of these. We actually did a masterclass on this recently inside of the Mastermind program, alimastermind.com/application if you want to apply for that. And we went through each of these, and you can filter down all the way to assisted living for every single one of these. And in there, you're going to find opportunities that are out there. It also gives you the listing agent. You can reach out to these people and have a conversation about that specific opportunity. And then if you find somebody that you really like working with, start working with them to help you find the right opportunity. Work with this broker. You want a commercial broker is who you want. If you can find them one that specifically specializes in senior living, that's something that you want to do. And I know there's a few on the Facebook group, so go ahead and reach out to them. Bern Harris is one that comes to mind. I think Charlie Cummings is on the Facebook group as well. They're both based out of Colorado, but I think they'd be able to help you out in different scenarios. So shout out for those guys. And if you feel like you need to do a connection, then join the Facebook group and and reach out to them and get to know them a little bit. Or get on one of these websites, reach out, build a relationship, and see if you can continue working with them. These are great opportunities for you to do that. But you can narrow this down to assisted living. You can narrow it down to bed counts. You can start looking at these in the areas that you want to look at and see if you can find something. Understand, not everything that is listed and available is going to be on one of these websites though. So it's one of those things that some of these are off market, some of them get sold beforehand, some of them are relationships. So don't make this your only way of finding a property. Build relationships with people and have those people work with you. There's a great book by Benjamin Hardy called Who Not How, and I'll try to link that in the bio on YouTube, or in the video description in YouTube, so you can go and grab that book. But great book, Who Not How by Benjamin Hardy, and it is all about leveraging other people to help you be more successful. So highly recommend that. So that's how you can find opportunities with an existing business. But don't just rely on these. Talk to other people and have them help you out after you've built your foundation and everything that you need. Build that first, and then get into finding the right property. The next one is buying and converting. So on here, you built your criteria. You know you need a 6-bedroom home that is in a specific neighborhood. Use sites like Redfin and Zillow to help you find those opportunities. Set up alerts so you can do that. Those are free websites that are going to allow you to find really good properties that are out there and see where they're at, and then also allow you to have conversations with zoning, like we just talked about, to know if a home is zoned properly. Even if you don't own the home, maybe you know somebody in the neighborhood, or you could reach out to somebody and say, hey, I really want to do assisted living in this neighborhood. I need to talk to zoning. Would you mind if I use you as an example home, just so I can just check on it? There's no commitment from you on this. I just need to get an idea of what zoning is going to look like there, just in case municipality, city planner person calls this person. Probably not going to happen though, honestly. But these are ways that you can get around all of this without being under contract or owning a property. Okay. The other thing with this is, again, partner with somebody. Hire a real estate agent, a realtor, to help you look at properties on the MLS, and find opportunities here. If you're going to do a buy and conversion, you don't need a commercial broker. I would highly recommend it. If you're going the route of buying an existing facility, every single day work with a commercial broker. Like, I would not work with a realtor when I'm going that route at all. I would go with a commercial broker. If I'm finding a house to convert though, I would go with a real estate agent. They're easier to find. They're gonna all have access to the MLS. They're all gonna be able to help you find the opportunities that you want. And so find somebody, could be a family member, could be a friend, but find somebody that's going to help you out, and just let them know, hey, this is kind of a long-term thing. I'm looking for a very specific type of home. And maybe we'll find it tomorrow, but we might not find the one that I want for 3 months. But I really want to really try to find something that works really well for this. Chances are they're going to be happy working with you because if you can find something, you're probably going to want more than one of these, and it's going to lead to more things. And plus, these are bigger homes, so they get bigger commission checks. So spend the time and develop relationships with people. But these are excellent free resources to help you find that. The other thing that I'm going to tell you is you got to be patient. It is entirely possible you're going to start looking and you're not going to find anything. It's possible. The market can be slow sometimes, and it feels like right now, what is the summer of 2024 is one of those kind of slow down periods. Um, that is not always going to be the case. And so you just have to be patient. You have to be persistent and consistent in looking and finding things, and then you're going to find the right opportunity for you. Is the guidance I'm going to give you there. So with all of that said, any questions? And while people are typing in questions, I want to remind you to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell as well, so you get notified every time we do these live sessions. We do lives on Tuesdays. We also put out content on Thursdays. Remind you to also get over and check out the application for the mastermind, alimastermind.com/application, and check that out. Would love to see where you're at and see if I can help you out. It takes you less than 5 minutes to fill out the form there. It gives me a really good idea on if I can help you or not, and then I will point you in the right direction if I feel like I can help you. And if not, that's fine too. I'll give you some resources and tell you, keep watching the keep watching the videos, and we'll help you out through that process. But let's see a couple questions, and go ahead and continue writing some things in here. I know there's a few of you on here. So got the stuff for Jacqueline. Rosette, couldn't find the single occupancy grant. You're in California. Can you put up that link? So the single occupancy grant, I wonder if you're talking about the video that I did on my single occupancy grant. So let me go find that for you really quick. Now the single occupancy grant is one that is specific. It's an ARPA era grant. It is It's something that was in the state of Colorado. Other states did that, but it is something that I think is gone now. I don't think that that specific grant is available in other states. But yeah, so here's the video. And Jack, here's the mastermind application link, alimastermind.com/application. So there's the link for that. You can also just go to like set up a strategy call, assistedlivinginvesting.net/strategy, and that will get you to the application there as well. But to go back to Rosetta's question here, so the single occupancy grant itself is, I just sent you the link there, so go ahead and watch that video and learn a little bit more about that. But those grants are probably not available anymore. The one in Colorado they've finalized everything. We have to spend our budget by like October of this year. So it's very quick now, so they're not doing that anymore. But other states, just because that one's not there doesn't mean there's not another grant out there that can do this. I saw there was a comment, and maybe Rosetta, this was you. I saw on another video there was a question about grants and like starting up, using grants to start things up. It is entirely possible for you to find a grant that will work for you, and help you kind of get through the startup phases. But it's also possible you won't find something. Grants are, you have to dig kind of hard for that. I'm actually going to be creating a course on grants. So if people are interested in getting a course about grants, type in grants down below. And I'll go over to assistedlivinginvesting.net/grants and get the access to the free grant writing template that will get you on the list for when I launch that grant program that I'm hoping to get out in the fall, here in a couple of months. But it will teach you how to go find grants, how to find opportunities, and what to look for as you're trying to get started. Grants can be funny. You can find a ton of grants sometimes, and oftentimes they have such specific criteria that you're not going to meet you're not going to align with what they need. And it's just being consistent and persistent in looking for those opportunities, finding them, building relationships, and having a good solid grant template for what it's going to look like, at least the base of what you need to put together, your business plan, who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, and then you're going to then cater that to a specific grant opportunity when they do come available. So keep an eye out for that course. It will drop here. Have not started working all the way on it. It's in my mind, but we'll get out to people here in the coming months. So type in grants down below if you're interested in grants. Question here again by Rosetta. So thoughts are because the grant that seems similar back and said no grants available right now. Yeah, and so you're right, Rosetta. They just might not be grants available right now, and so you just have to keep asking questions. There are a lot, some good resources for you. Grantgopher.com and grants.gov. Those are really good opportunities for you to go in and look just broadly and see what you can find. In the course, we'll go really deep into how to actually use those resources, but you can get started and just go and look for them. So yeah, and Vita, thanks for the comment there. Make sure you go and grab the grant writing template, assistedlivinginvesting.net/grants, and then that will get you on the list of people when I do the promotion. I'll probably give a special bonus for people that are on that specific email list for me, to give you a little bit of a discount on that course once it's released. Okay, well, any other questions, feel free to go ahead and type those in. But again, thanks to everybody for watching. If you are interested in doing the mastermind program, check us out at alimastermind.com/application. You can apply there. It takes less than 5 minutes. You fill that out. Go get the free business plan checklist as well. Assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist. You can get the grant writing template at assistedlivinginvesting.net/grants, or you can get the profit path tool at assistedlivinginvesting.net/profit path. We have links to all of the free resources on YouTube, so you can go grab that. There's the calculator, there's a webinar, a bunch of other stuff there to just kind of help you out as you're going through the process of trying to get started. I try to do everything I can to give you guidance and help you have the resources and the tools that you need to help you be successful, and do that through just giving you a bunch of free stuff. And then, if you ever end up needing more support, courses and things like that, then, check me out. And I love working with people, helping the people in the mastermind program. It's it's a ton of fun to work with those that are in there. We just had our monthly Q&A session last week, and it was great. Just a ton of fun chatting with people, answering questions, and helping people along the way. Vita, question here: can you apply for SBA loan as a startup? So yeah, you can. If you're buying an existing business, it's going to probably be easier for you to go the route of SBA. You're probably going to have a little more success doing that when you buy an existing business, because it is something that SBA is very familiar with, and they're more likely to work with somebody in that sense. I have a buddy in Idaho who is starting something from the ground up, and is getting around $4 million in funding from the SBA. He has a lot of background in assisted living, but he has a very solid business plan, solid underwriting, helped him out through that process. Through the predecessor to the mastermind program, he and I worked through that a lot, and helped him. So he's got the pre-approval for $4 million, has raised $1 million, and is now just kind of working on finalizing a few things so he can push that project all the way through. And that's through the SBA. If you're going to buy an existing home and do a conversion there, the chances, this is an assumption that I have, and I think it's pretty accurate, the chances of you using an SBA loan to buy that home and do the conversion, I think is less. You will probably need to do some kind of a combination where you buy that home using a conventional mortgage, and it's going to be an investment property, so it's going to be a higher down payment. They're typically 25 to 30% down. And then you could work with the SBA to get funding for the operating capital to help run the business and things like that. So you could still use the SBA. It's just not to buy the house. It will be more likely for the operating capital side of things. So yeah, hopefully that helps out. And then building a home on land, yes, my experience having conversations with people is you can use the SBA to do that. You could also look at other programs. You could do something like the USDA. I know has loan products that help out with that, depending on where you're at in the United States. So that's the Department of Agriculture. So if you're in a more rural spot, not out in the country or anything like that, but Texas, Oklahoma, places in the Midwest, like if you're in LA, you're not going to get a USDA loan. But if you're somewhere else, there's, I would say, a likelihood that you could have conversations there with USDA. You can also, SBA I think is a good option for you. You could look at doing something that's like private money to get things started and then refinance it into a bridge loan, and then refinance that into something that's a process, but you could use some of those different options to help you get there and help you get something built from the ground up. So yeah, rural out in country Missouri, yeah, I think for you, Vita, being out there, I would check with the SBA. I would also check with the USDA. I would check on some of those other government programs and see what they have that's out there, just to see what you can find, because I think there's opportunities there. And I think, you definitely want to check with zoning as well. So I've got somebody that I know in San Antonio area. He owns land. He owns the land already, but the zoning has been a thorn in his side. So if you already have the land, then check on zoning. If you don't already have the land, but you are like, this is the spot I really want to do this in, check with zoning first before you buy it, just so you don't get, you don't have a chunk of land that you can't do anything with. If you already own it, then have the conversation before you get started. And then if it's not zoned properly, figure out what the rezoning process is like for you, to see what you can do to get that started. So yeah. And I love seeing the conversations here, Rosetta and Vita having conversations about you know, people out there in Missouri. So that's exciting. Let's see. Any other questions? Happy to stay on for a couple more minutes if anybody has anything. Yeah, no problem, Vita. Happy to help. And remember, people, if you want access to some extra coaching with me, go check out the mastermind program. It's a year-long, alimastermind.com/application. It takes you less than 5 minutes. It's like there's no commitment on it. It just lets me look at it and see where you're at, and let me see if I can help you or not. And then from there, if I can, I'll tell you what that looks like, and we can go from there. I love having calls with people, but I got to the point where I was having way too many, which is a good problem to have. But as much as I love talking with people, I just don't have the time to do that as much. So we're shifting to an application process, and as I'll see what it looks like, and then from there I can help you out. And then go grab all the free resources, the calculator, the business plan checklist, the grant writing template, the profit path analysis tool, the lease agreement. Those are all linked down below in the YouTube video. So um, cool. Well, I think we will close this out right now. I don't think I'm missing any extra questions here. I'm just going to scroll through all the comments just to make sure. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else. So, um, and Vita, who's asking about the grants? Vita, you were asking about the grants. Yeah, I would also look at grant opportunities. Grants.gov might be a good opportunity for you to look at that for rural type places. So yeah, no problem, Rosetta. Thanks everybody for being on. We'll close out by what I always say: does residential assisted living sound interesting to you, but you don't know how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, I'm here to help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. Love helping people out, so check out all the resources online, and go apply to the mastermind program. Would love to see if I can help you out. alimastermind.com/application. And thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, everybody.